Do like our video and please subscribe to our channel. Wrestling Fox. The ANOA'I family origin is from American Samoa. They are one of the most popular wrestling families in the world and have many star wrestlers. The Peter Maivia is the first professional wrestler of ANOA'I family, and his wife Ophelia Futataga is credited as one of the first female professional wrestling promoters. Their son Rocky Johnson is the first black champion in WWE history. Their grandson is the Stardom professional wrestler and now the actor who is none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi and his two sons Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. Naomi became a part of ANOA'I family after marrying Jimmy Uso. The current face of the WWE, Roman Reigns, and his late brother Rosie and his father Leotti Sika, who is known as the Wild Salmons, is also a part of ANOA'I family. Leotti Sika tag team partner is his brother, Afa ANOA'I is also professional wrestler. The other wrestlers in this family include the Tonga Kid, Samu, Afa ANOA'I Jr., Lloyd ANOA'I, Jacob Fatu, and Lance ANOA'I. Special mention to the late professional wrestlers like Yokozuna, Yamaga, and Gary Albright are also from the ANOA'I family.
If you choose one greatest wrestling family, whom do you think it is?
Do comment below the video. Let's see who gets the highest number of vote. The Stardom professional wrestler, Fritz von Erich, is 23 times world champion and a record holder of 20-time WCWA champion. His family origin is from Texas, United States. He was also the owner of the World Class Championship Wrestling territory. His surname is Adkisson, but people from his family started using his ring name, Von Erich. He has 5 sons and all are professional wrestlers. Though there is success and triumphs in his family, all his sons lived a short life and had a tragic death except Kevin Von Erich. He made appearances with his father in WCWA Championship. David Von Erich died at the age of 25 due to inflammation of the small intestine during his tour to All Japan Pro Wrestling in 1984. Kerry Von Erich died at the age of 33 after shooting himself with a gun in 1993. Mike Von Erich died at the age of 23 years due to overdose of sleeping pills with alcohol and left suicide note to his family in 1987. Chris Von Erich died at the age of 21 years after shooting himself in the head in 1991. Lacey Von Erich, daughter of the late Kerry Von Erich, was a third-generation professional wrestler in his family and was a successful wrestler in TNA and retired from professional wrestling in 2010. The Guerrero family origin is from Mexican American. Gory Guerrero was one of the premier Mexican-American professional wrestlers in the early days of Lucha Libre when most wrestlers were imported from outside Mexico between the 1940s and 1960s. His 4 sons were wrestlers. The famous among them were Eddie Guerrero, who is a star wrestler and have wrestled in various wrestling companies. Vicky Guerrero has become a part of Guerrero family after marrying Eddie Guerrero. Sudden death of Eddie Guerrero shocked the entire wrestling industry. He died due to heart failure in 2005 at the age of 38 years. Their daughter Shaul Guerrero is also a professional wrestler and wrestled in WWE, NXT band. Eddie's brother, Hector Guerrero, was a popular wrestler in TNA, and he has another brother named Mando Guerrero, who was also a professional wrestler. The third-generation wrestler, who held many championships in various wrestling promotions and made his family proud, is Chavo Guerrero Jr. And his late father Chavo Guerrero was also a professional wrestler. The American professional wrestler with 40 years of wrestling career and is one of the greatest wrestlers of all times is Ric Flair. He has married 5 times and has 4 children, out of which 3 are professional wrestlers. The most successful wrestler was his daughter Charlotte Flair, who was a women champion in the WWE. Charlotte Flair's own brother Reid Flair was an upcoming professional wrestler, but unfortunately he died at the age of 25 years in 2013 due to drug overdose. Charlotte Flair's half-brother, David Flair, was a retired professional wrestler from independent circuit. Larry Hennig, popularly known as The Axe. He is a tough and stubborn guy who was wrestling for 3 decades and was a victorious wrestler. who started his career in 1956 and retired in 1985. His son Curt Hennig, popularly known as Mr. Perfect, was just like his father and brought stardom to his family name. He has won multiple championship titles by working in various promotions. He was a well-known wrestler in WWE and WCW. On February 10, 2003, the wrestling industry was shocked to hear the news of his death. He died at the age of 44 years due to drug overdose. At the time of his death, he was a FOW heavyweight champion. Curt Hennig has 4 children, out of which 2 children are professional wrestlers. His son Joe Hennig, known as Curtis Axel, is a third-generation wrestler. Just like his father, he too is a skilled professional wrestler. He is an upcoming star wrestler and working in various wrestling promotions. His eminent time was during wrestling in WWE, NXT band. He has a sister named Amy Hennig, known as Miss Perfect, and is also a professional wrestler. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes was an American professional wrestler, booker and trainer. He was famous for his work in National Wrestling Alliance, Jim Crockett Promotions, and in WWE. Dusty Rhodes' first brother-in-law, Fred Ottman, ring name as Typhoon, is a professional wrestler who is best known for his times in WWE. His second brother-in-law, Jerry Saga, is also a professional wrestler, and his tag team called as the Nasty Boys, along with Brian Knobbs. Dusty Rhodes has 4 sons, out of which 2 sons are star professional wrestlers. Dustin Rhodes, popularly known as Goldust. His majority of career was spent in WWE and WCW. At present he is currently signed in AEW as a performer and a coach. Cody Rhodes, who is the half-brother of Dustin Rhodes, was also a professional wrestler and currently AEW's executive vice president. Brandi Runnels became a part of the Rhodes family after marrying Cody Rhodes. At present she is the chief brand officer in AEW. Robert Windham, popularly known as Blackjack Mulligan, was an American professional wrestler who had a long and victorious career in WWE. His 2 sons Barry Windham and Kendall Windham were also professional wrestlers. Barry Windham wrestled in WCW, WWE and NWA, later retired in 2010. Kendall Windham wrestled for WCW and retired in 2002. His son-in-law Mike Rotundo was also a professional wrestler. Robert Windham's grandchildren have taken their family name to the next level by becoming a star professional wrestler. Bray Wyatt became popular in WWE and performed a number of gimmicks like the villainous cult leader of the Wyatt family, children's entertainer, by hosting a show called Firefly Funhouse, and sinister alter ego known as The Fiend. Bray Wyatt's brother Bo Dallas was also a professional wrestler, and his famous time was performing in WWE, NXT band and in FCW. Ted DiBiASE, is known as the $1 Million Man, is a greatest villain during the 1980s, who holds 30 championship titles in working with the number of wrestling promotions. His stepfather Iron Mike DiBiASE and his mother Helen Heald were also professional wrestlers. Iron Mike DiBiASE had a fatal heart attack in the middle of his match against Man Mountain Mike in 1969 and died in the ring at the age of 45 years. The renowned $1 Million Man has 3 sons who are also professional wrestlers. His first son Mike DiBiASE, second son Ted DiBiASE Jr., and third son Brett DiBiASE. Among the 3 siblings, the third-generation professional wrestler Ted DiBiASE Jr. brought fame to his family name and was having a successful career in WWE and in the independent circuit. However, he quit wrestling in 2017 and started his acting career. The Vachon family is of French-Canadian origin and is noted as a tough and rough family. It was headed by Maurice "Mad Dog" Vachon, who has wild and intense moves. His brother Paul "Butcher" Vachon is also a professional wrestler. No one dared to mess around with the Vachon family. They both wrestled long time in NWA and AWA veterans. They have a sister named Vivian who was a wrestler too, but unfortunately died at the age of 40 years, along with her daughter Julie, aged 9 years, due to a car accident in 1991. Luna Vachon became a part of the family after her mother married Paul "Butcher" Vachon in 1966. In her 22-year wrestling career, she worked in WWE, ECW, and WCW. She was a popular wrestler in 1990s with her terrific look and insane nature in the ring. But to everyone's surprise, she died at the age of 48 years in 2010 due to drug overdose. Dory Funk was an American professional wrestler. He began his career in professional wrestling after serving in the United States Navy during World War II. He wrestled only in the Texas and Central Territories during his career. At the age of 54 he died due to heart attack while demonstrating a wrestling hold at his home to a visitor. He has two sons who brought fame to the family name. Dory Funk Jr. has wrestled in various promotions, and his personal best was in NWA and AJPW. He later became a trainer and retired in 2020. Terry Funk outshined his father and brother and has won many championship titles by working in different promotions. He had a 50 years of wrestling career. His personal best were in NWA, WCW and WWE. Funk is a close friend of Sylvester Stallone. He even choreographed a street fight between Rocky Balboa and his nemesis Tommy Gunn in the film Rocky V.